What if you could connect n8n to every Google service you'll ever need? Sheets, Docs, Drive, Gmail, Calendar, Slides, and more in 10 minutes and never have to touch those credentials again. That's exactly what I'm going to show you today. Many tutorials will have you setting up one service at a time or reconnecting every week when your credentials expire. We are going to do things differently. By the end of this video, you'll have a rock-solid Google connection that works across every workflow you'll ever build. Let's start by creating a workflow. Click the big plus sign in the center and then choose On Chat Message from the list on the right. Let's rename this node and then close its window. Click the plus sign at the right side of the Chat Interface node. Then type Sheets in the Search Nodes field. Choose Google Sheets from the list. We will create a simple demo workflow that stores our chat messages in a sheet, with each message being placed in a separate row. So let's choose the Append Row in Sheet option from the Google Sheets action list. We need to create a credential before connecting to Google Sheets, of course, so let's click the drop-down and select Create New Credential. To use Google's platforms in our workflows, we will need to get a client ID and the client secret. It's not a simple process, but I will show you everything you need to do step by step. Moreover, you'll only need to get the client ID and client secret once, because these credentials will be the same no matter if you want to use Google Sheets, Docs, Slides, Drive, and so on. Let's open a new browser tab and go to cloud.google.com. Then click Sign in the upper right corner. I presume you already have a Google account, but you can create one on this page if you need to. Type in your email address and click Next. Input your password and click Next. Did you notice that blue Get Started for Free button? Now we can finally click it. Tap Agree and Continue and wait a few seconds. Google will display a payment information verification page. Yes, you will need to add a payment method to continue. However, Google will give you a very generous $300 in free credit that you can spend over the next 90 days, and you can cancel the trial at any time. The good news is that 99% of small businesses will pay Google less than $1 per month while running their AI workflows. So don't be afraid to input your contact information and card information and then hit the Start Free button. Google will verify your card without taking any money from it. They do this to prevent spammers from abusing their cloud services. Validate the $0 transaction, confirm that your card has been added to the account, and then click Start Free once again. Google will ask you a few questions. They want to know how you plan to use their services. Answer those questions and then tap Done. Click My First Project in the upper left corner. This is the default project Google created for us, but we'll set up a new one instead. Give your project a descriptive name. I'll choose n8n Credentials. Then click the Create button. While we are here, let's activate our $300 worth of credits. We'll only be charged after 3 months, and most small businesses are going to pay a few cents per month anyway. Click the project list and then open your newly created project. Wait for the project to load and then click the hamburger menu in the top left corner. Navigate to APIs and Services and then choose Enabled APIs and Services. As you can see, our project already has access to several APIs. Let's add the missing ones. Click the Enable APIs and Services button and then type Sheets in the search box. Select Google Sheets API and click Enable. Wait a few seconds until the API is added to your project. It's time to add all the other Google APIs we may need in the future. It would be a bad idea to keep coming back to this project and edit it every time we want to use Google Docs, Slides, Drives, and so on, when we can do it all right here and right now. So let's click the back arrow, choose Enable APIs and Services, search for Calendar, select the Google Calendar API, and then enable it. Click the back arrow once again, choose to enable more APIs and services, search for Gmail, select it and enable it. You can also click the Enabled APIs and Services menu option instead of clicking the back arrow if you want to. Let's add the Cloud Resource Manager API as well. It helps us validate credentials and permissions from within our AI workflows, for example. Then, let's add the Google Drive API and enable it. Google Docs API, and Google Slides API. Now that we've got all the APIs in place, it's time to create the OAuth credentials. Select the OAuth consent screen menu option and then choose Get Started. Choose a name for the app that will ask for consent. I'll use n8n credentials once again. Click the User Support Email dropdown and select your email address. Hit Next. Choose External for the audience. You should pick internal only if you have a Google Workspace subscription. Click Next once again. Fill in the email address you want Google to use when sending notifications about your cloud project. You can use the same Gmail address you've used to set up the Google Cloud services. When you are done, tap Next, agree to Google's user data policy, then click the Continue button. Finally, hit the blue Create button. We can now create the OAuth client, which will communicate with n8n using tokens instead of sharing passwords with it. This method is much more secure because tokens are temporary, can be configured with limited permissions, and so on. Click Create OAuth Client, choose Web Application from the list, and give it a name. I chose n8n credentials once again. We need to add an authorized redirect URL, the web address where Google will send the user after authorizing their access. Fortunately, it's easy to get that URL from our workflow. Move over the field and then click the URL to copy it to the clipboard. Return to Google Cloud and paste the address in the URIs 1 field. Click the Create button and then hit OK at the bottom of the pop-up window. Click the n8n Credentials Client ID and you will see the client ID and client secret we've worked so hard for. Copy and paste the client ID into a document. You are going to need it. Do the same thing with the client secret. Then, head over to the Audience tab and hit Publish App. Confirm that you want to push the app to production. We can now return to n8n. Let's copy and paste the previously saved client ID and client secret and then hit the Save button. A Sign in with Google button will show up at the bottom of the screen. Click it and then choose your Google account. You will see a warning stating that Google hasn't verified your app. Choose Advanced and then tap the link that leads to your n8n's installation URL. Click the Select All checkbox to give n8n permission to access Google's APIs, then hit the Continue button. You should see a Connection Successful pop-up. Our Google Sheets node is now connected to Google Cloud, so we can close its window. Let's go to sheets.google.com and create a new sheet. Let's name this document n8n Conversations. Then, let's add a Conversations column header. Time to return to n8n. Double-click the Sheets node. You will see that the Google Sheets credential is already selected, the resource we're going to work with is a sheet within a document, and the operation we're going to use is append row. We only need to select the name of the Google Sheets document and the name of the sheet in that document. Click the Document drop-down and choose n8n Conversations. Then pick Sheet 1 from the Sheet drop-down. Normally, we'd have to drag the input from the chat interface into the Conversations field, but we haven't chatted with n8n yet, so we don't have any data to work with right now. Fortunately, the solution is simple. Just click the Execute Previous Notes button. Now we can type in a message. n8n will display an error, but don't worry, that's supposed to happen because we didn't finish setting up our Google Sheets node. Let's double-click the node to open it once again. This time, we will see the input data from the chat interface on the left side of the screen. The text we've typed in is stored in the chat input field, so that's what we are going to drag into the conversations field. Click chat input, drag it into the conversations field, and then release the mouse button. Close the node window, and then type in another message using the chat interface. The workflow will execute successfully this time, and if we go to Google Sheets, we will see that our message was added to the first row. I agree this isn't a spectacular workflow. However, we have made good use of it, creating a full set of Google credentials that should never expire. And there you have it, a one-time setup that connects n8n to the entire Google ecosystem permanently. Every workflow you build from this point forward will have everything it needs. If you found this useful, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and it tells me you want more step-by-step tutorials. And if you're a small business owner who's been thinking about bringing AI into your operations, but aren't sure where to start, that's exactly what my free consultation is for. 30 minutes, no pressure, and you'll walk away with a clear picture of what's possible for your business. The link is in the description. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and keep your eyes on the AIs.